Hello everybody, Jardine here. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading much, I just haven't been getting any chances to record. So what I did today, since I have free time, is I got up early, and I should hopefully be able to record about 3 videos. Unfortunately, I got up too early, and the parts where I wanted to record are all shady. So I figured I'd do the introductions first. What I'm doing here is a little video series where I thought I would go back and look at my old budget Musha swords. And what better place to start than with the first Japanese sword I ever got, the Musashi Wakizashi. Now, I'm going to be including cuts at the end of all these videos, and I will say these are not the out-of-the-box edges. I think that's understandable considering I've owned these for years. Even if I didn't sharpen them for this video, it would be an edge I gave it like a year ago. So I gave these all about the same edge my Oniyuri has, just to be fair. They're all at least around paper cutting, so we'll see how that goes. However, first, I think I'm just going to talk about the sword instead of going straight to the cuts. So, this thing, Musashi Wakizashi, Musha, as they call their budget sword line, is, again, the first thing I owned, and some places and some people would consider it a kokatana due to the handle. Now, I'll have to get the measurements, and I'll put it up on screen right now. But I believe this is something like a 9.5 or a 10-inch handle, which, again, you could consider that a katana handle. And the blade is a solid 20 inches. It becomes about 30 inches overall. And it's just been such a great sword for me over the years, honestly. I've cut so many things with it. It's hit wood. It's hit a lot of pumpkins. So, you know, refinishing the edge took a bit of work. But I can say, unlike some of my other budget swords, no looseness. It's so stout. It doesn't vibrate, the Suba doesn't wobble, the Habaki doesn't wobble, the Seppa doesn't. Nothing on this moves, except the Ito has become a little loose over the years. However, this sword is so light that it does not bother me. Speaking of that, let me just say that this is a really light sword. I mean, very good for someone like me of a lighter build, but it's nothing. In fact, it almost feels strange after handling heavier swords for a while that it just, you know, does whatever you want. It's a very light sword. What else can I say, honestly? If you want to look at the specs, it's everywhere. It's on Cult of Athena if you want the best things. I'll link that in the description so you get the most accurate statistics on it. What really can I say? It's a dedicated light cutter, I'd say. I cut pumpkins with it, of course, but that's the entire video called Bato Practice vs. Pumpkins or something like that. So if you want to see this in action, go watch that. Otherwise, my old videos have me cutting bottles. And something interesting about this sword is that just the other day, and I really don't cut off camera, by the way. Well, when I'm not making videos, it's because I'm not cutting. But just to test, when I was having trouble cutting with my Oniyuri, and I was sharpening the edge, I was like, hey, I'll go take this out. You know, it's not even paper cutting sharp. And I had no issue cutting through the bottles. I'm not sure if it's because it's thin, or if because there's no Niku or anything, which it does. Yeah, it doesn't really have much. It has a little bit. But this thing is a very good cutter, and I say that as someone who now owns mid-range swords, you know, $200, $300. It's still a really great buy. I got it for $40. The price went up a bit to Amazon. It was like $55 now. But still, if you want a Wakizashi or a Kokatana for very cheap, this thing performs. Anyway, I think I've said about all I need to on it. Fittings are probably just alloy metal. I doubt they're iron. The saya, very light, small sageo, and I always loved that little metal cap it had. Well, I think that's enough. Let me get to the cuts. Okay, I actually got this idea while doing the next video in the series, but I figured why not show you how well it stabs against an archery target. Again, mine has a busted tip, so, you know, grain of salt. Preferably, like, road salt, the largest grain you can find. Because I can only do so much. That being said, that just went deeper than Injato did when I tested, so that's cool. Make sure I'm going against the grain here. Not bad. Once with the grain of the archery target, which is going sideways. that right here. So, similar, it's still pretty good. And while I've got it on this stump this way, not bad. Thrusts pretty well considering I broke the tip. That just went through wood, so that's pretty sick. Well, my friends, here we are. Same old stump, same old angle. Still didn't get that cutting stand made. It will happen. And something I forgot to mention during the review was, this is a loose saya. I didn't think I had to bring that up, but I figured I should. All of my budget swords have loose sayas, but I figured I should bring that up just because I forgot. Anyway, I'm going to do about a bottle case for each sword that I'll be doing in this series. So again, first up, Musha Wakizashi. So that was a really casual swing, and it was less than a centimeter from going through that. Yep. This sword does still have a few blunt spots on it, which I'm sure I'll accidentally hit the bottle with. I mean, with the amount of things I've hit over the years, I don't know which thing caused it, but I didn't feel like doing so much rough sharpening that I had to fix it. So, we'll see. Maybe it won't even happen. Now that is pretty clean. I just keep cutting shallow. I don't think I'm used to how short this is. Oh yeah, and the tip, I bent when I dropped it lightly once, so I had to file off the bent tip. It was bent 90 degrees, so it's not the best at thrusting anymore. And this is empty, so... 3 for 3 on that. That was just a really lazy swing. It's weird how the harder I try to do better, the worse I get. If I hit lower, that might have been a pretty good one. Okay, well, that's all it was for that. I'm sorry that was a short session, but this isn't really the point of this series. I just wanted to actually talk about my thoughts over the years about my Musha products. And with this one, I can say, I mean, it's good for what it's always been good for. It is a really good budget Wakizashi / Coat Katana. You can use it in one hand or two if you'd like, unless you have like really big hands. Everything's still tight, and this is definitely one of the better Musha products that I own. I've got no complaints with it. Obviously, 1045 steel is 1045. I mean, it took a 90-degree bend because I dropped it one time. At the same time, it sharpens very easily, much more easily than my Oniyuri. So that's a pro of the steel. It cut pretty well. I think, honestly, it's just... I need to go back and learn how to cut better. Again, I'm really not cutting at all off camera. I'm just not getting the chance to. That's why I'm trying to do 3 videos today. So, I hope you enjoyed that. That's really all there is to it. I mean, it's still an amazing sword. I don't regret buying it. It looks like I took it through a few wars, but, you know, overall, I can't complain about it. So, everybody, this has been my Musha Wakizashi after like 2 or 3 years. I hope it hasn't been more. And, honestly, I've already said everything earlier. It's just an amazing little Wakizashi for the price. I mean, $50 now, and it's still Nothing is loose on it. Judging by that Yaito version that I tried to take apart, this actually can't come loose. It was not made to be disassembled, I don't think. So, I mean, it did everything I needed to. It's an okay cutter, as you saw here. I mean, it wasn't, like, flawless, but I'm not flawless, you know? Like, some of those cuts that I thought would work just didn't, and I kept messing up. But anyway, I think I did an okay job of showing that this sword is still a valuable piece. And if you're willing to actually practice more than I'm able to at the moment, there's no reason this won't be a great cutter for you if you just like bottles and such. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be working on the next video right after this, so I'll see you guys next time. It looks like I took it through it looks like I took it through a